rain we've had last night and this morning, we're flowering. My courgettes are flowering. Look at that. And one there and one there. They're the two courgettes. I'll get in a bit closer. That bit there is going to be the courgette. I hope they pollinated, because that one's full of water. It's not stopped raining. I'll take you over to the one that flowered yesterday. This is the one from Friday. The flower was out. You see, it's all dying back now. And there's a courgette. And I should imagine this one was pollinated. I've got all slug pellets all over, look. Should imagine that was pollinated, because that's getting quite chunky now. But if they don't get pollinated, they drop off. I've seen that happen, and I've seen slugs attack them here as well. Look at them, 1, 2, 3. That's 4 already. And these little ones here, these little ones without on little thin stalks. Whether you can see that, that's got a little thin stalk. Over here, look, that's got a tiny thin stalk. They're the male. They don't have fruit on them. This one's not come out yet, but just look, the rain's fetched these out. These nasty slug glugs out. Look at that. But last night I sensed that all this rain would fetch the slugs out, and I put more pellets down, and if you can see, they've been eating the pellets and now they're about dead. So this is where I've took out one of the Swiss chard, because they were trying to go to seed, so I've fetched all the leaves off I could and pulled it out. Well, these will be next, but I'm just leaving them a little bit longer to get a few more leaves on. I was talking about the slugs and the slug pellets. I'm not worried about these leaves with the slugs, because underneath it's all rough, and so are the stems. If you run your finger on down there, it hurts. They're spiky, and the slugs don't like them. But I've got beans in here, look, so I don't want the slugs to get them. But there's somebody talking about this on a YouTube channel, and I know from past experience that no, they don't touch them, these big leaves and the stems, once they get over a certain size. But soon as this bulbs up, they'll start eating it. So your courgette will have great big holes in it. So that's why I put slug pellets down, not taking no chances. So this one's not flowered yet, this is a new one. So I'm hoping it's going to stay fine, so when that opens up that it'll get pollinated, otherwise it'll just drop off. And the watering system is in. I've not got it on because it's been slinging it down all morning, so this won't be switched on probably today. It was raining all night. So it goes round this bed, and it goes into this bed. If you can see, let me come in here. Let me take you underneath. If you can see, it's there, look, and it all drips out when it's switched on. It cuts across this bed. Put that back. If you can see. Then it goes across into the next bed, which I'll take you and show you. And the trouble with down this end, all this end, I hadn't got enough to run it down this end, but it's on a bit of a slope, so I'm hoping the water will slowly seep down. But these hold on, let me get inside and show you. These are spinach, mustard spinach. I've never had mustard spinach, so I've normally had normal spinach, but I thought if I'm using it in like risottos and stuff. It'll give it a, might give it a bit better taste. I got the seeds, they probably were free on a magazine or something. And my Swiss chard are getting quite big. Got different colours. There's a yellow one, look. And they're the red ones. And I don't know whether this is pak choi or Chinese cabbage. I can't remember which one's which. But there's some Chinese cabbage and pak choi in this area. Tomatoes my mum bought me are in. Oh, look at that bean. And I got slug pellets everywhere but there. Put them around the other two. I'll have to get a few. So they're in, and this white fleece is covering carrots, spring onions, swedes and beetroot, all in rows. And this is on top, not because it's cold, but to stop the blackbirds digging them all up until they get a bit bigger. And I've put my cabbage in. They're tundra, big cabbage. I got some seeds from last year. They're show cabbages, the giant ones that we used to show at the allotment show. So I've got some seeds left, but I don't grow them to massive size, and they make a really big, nice cabbage. And even at half the size that you grow them for show, they can still make about 6 meals. These are the beans. They're the small purple ones. I've put them out, and I've put 2 more over there, and the other tomato, and all this rain's not seemed to bother it. So my mum was right when she says the outdoor ones. Right, I put these are sweet sultana, the fluffy headed ones, and I put them in here yesterday, and it's good job I put slug pellets around them. Have you seen this? This is the slime from all the slugs that's been eating the slug pellets. So that saved them. They're a bit yucky, look at that. Oh, let's just try and hang them over the edge like that, out of the way of the slime. Again, you've been eating the slug pellets instead of my what are they? Butternut squash. My brain's not working today. Well, in fact, perhaps my brain never works, but especially today. I've done the park run this morning, and it's the first time since I was been poorly, and it's killed me. Sweat was pouring off me all the way around the 5k. Some deadhead in order. Now this has looked beautiful, as you've seen, since I put it in, but we starting to look a bit dead, aren't we? Get these deadheads off, and then hopefully we'll come back. I can see the odd bud. Is that a bud? That's a bud. I want to save some seeds off these, so later on, when they're so, I'm going to leave the deadheads on. I want to try and encourage it to flower for a little bit longer, and then I'm going to leave the deadheads on so I can let it go to seed. But I think for now I'll just see if I can get another batch of flowers out of it, but it's going to get swamped in a bit with these nasturtiums. They're starting to creep over this way, so it won't be long before I'll leave them there and I'll pick them up later, because these nasturtiums are doing really well. In fact, my lights might need hiring a bit or moving, because you can't see them. Oh, I might have to move them because you're not going to be able to see them. But look, starting to get flowers, and they're the red. These are red, and the older ones, I've saved from last year, or that came up on their own from last year, are orange. But I picked a different colour for this year from last year for a change. This is new, and I've had to cover it so they didn't get battered with the rain, because it's been really bad. I've had a little bit of thunder, but not much. See if I can just pull this round so you can see. So they're my climbing beans, French beans. They're the ones that was in the greenhouse, the tunnel, the other day that I showed you, that the ones that I chittered, and they're looking nice considering all the rain. But I'm going to keep this round them because they were getting battered and they're a bit sensitive. I'll put one or two more in with the others that's over on the back, just to fill up. So they're looking good. I don't know whether you're going to be able to see this, but I have been altering things. I can try and turn the camera so it's long ways, so you might be able to see. I've put these trays down, and then I've put my cucumbers across here, and then there's a row of tomatoes to meet the old row that was in the grow bag. If I come this way, you might well see the red of the grow bag. And then opposite, there's 3 more, and we have, excuse me, but I've got something stuck to the bottom of this camera. It's some insect or something. There's 2 more over there. They're going to come on this tray that I've got other things in, with one here. But I'm going to take all these shelving out and they're going to be moved across. Then that's going to leave me 2 tomatoes and 1 cucumber. I may leave them in here, or I may put them outside. I'm not sure, just depending on room when I get things moved. But you can see I've been busy again, and the lettuce down there seems to be very happy, so that's good. And my next job is pricking out, so I've moved this over to this side, so I'm going to have to open the door so I can stand outside to pot on. But that's what I'm going to be doing today, potting on. Well, I've come out to harvest the spinach. It's still raining. It's a bit big to even go in there. I'm just taking the big leaves, just to make a bit of room. In fact, if I put this down somewhere, it might be a bit better. Just to make a bit of room for the Swiss chard, because the leaves are getting quite big. I don't want to take too many off. They should come quite nice now. Look, leave a couple of leaves on to that one that's sticking over there. Going to put some in the freezer when I have more than can use for dinner. Stick it in the freezer, like I showed you the other day with the kale. I think something's been munching on that one. It's on the tomato tower. This is doing quite nice, and we've even got some flowers coming. Can you see? They get in there. Little flowers. Let's give that a little bit of a tap. And if I can come round this side, the rocket is doing really well. It's just these two that's not doing so good, but the slugs keep having things, but can't have a perfect amount growing. Always got to have something that's been nibbled, so that's looking nice. Oh look, some more flowers on these, look. So basil's coming. There's some that's better than others. That's not too bad down there, and that one. And there's a bee on my chives, look. Don't know whether I've got in too close. Stand back a little bit, so just in case I don't want it to go too blurry. And I've noticed some more nettles coming up, and I'll take you over and show you the red nasturtium flower that's come. Look at these nettles that shot up from behind this. So that's another job to do. Look, I bet I'll get nettled. Look at that beautiful nasturtium flower. They're going to look really pretty when they... More courgette flowers. Look at the size of that one. Look at that. It's massive. So there's one there. 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's a little one just coming back there. It reckons to come in 4s, and then the male flowers round the bottom. And then as it goes, as you keep picking them off, it keeps coming up and up and keeps coming out in 4s. Over here. They were the ones I showed you the other day, and that one is filling out, so I'm sure it must be fertilised. That one looks quite nice as well. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, look, and then the male flowers round. So yeah, we have a rogue. That is one of the flowers. I used to have some in the garden years ago, and I'm sure this bed only got manure and bagged compost, so I don't know how it's got here. And there's here, this one as well. That's looks interesting. I'm going to leave it, see what it is. But if it had been the soil from where I've dug out for my garden, I could have understood it, but that must have survived from somebody else's garden through all the composting procedure, and it's coming up in my bed. Courgettes, it's looking really good. More flowers, and that one's looking nice too, filling out quite nicely. So I'm about to fill the courgette freezer, we call it, because it gets that many courgettes in it. But I use them all year, and I will be doing some recipes to show you later on, to show you what we do. We do fritters and different things, put things in the freezer after we've made them to store them, so all winter I've got stuff to make things with. Right, let me show you my cabbages. And you see my cabbages? They're really coming on nice. They look really nice. And my oh, what are they called? Shallots, that's it. It looks like they've split, so they're doing well as well. It's even though it's raining, it's absolutely stinking hot when you try to do anything, and I'm struggling because I've got a jacket on, and I'm going to have to take it off and get wet.